Hi artist friends, it's me, Miss Winter, and here with my sidekick, Kai, to show you this fun abstract piece of art that we created together last week. The cool thing about this is we actually just used materials that we already had at home, so I'm hoping that you guys might have most of these things at home already to make it easy to create with us. So the first thing you'll need for this project is a cereal box, just an empty cereal box of some kind. The second thing you need is a piece of yarn, actually lots of yarn, so multiple strands of yarn. Try to make it as thick as you can if you happen to have that. The third thing is some tin foil or aluminum foil or kitchen foil, whatever it's called around the world. The fourth thing is some glue. And then finally, we are going to use Sharpies to color our project today. So go gather those materials and then meet us down here and we'll show you how to make it. So the first step is to cut a shape from your cereal box, a square or a rectangular shape like this. And then cut various strands of yarn. They can be varying sizes, totally doesn't matter. I'll show you what we're going to do with this. Basically, the goal of our project today is we want to create some relief on the cardboard. In other words, we want to lay the yarn on the cardboard to create circles or swirls or different lines of various shapes that we glue on and then cover in foil. So this is called relief when we do this on top of the cardboard like this. So the first step is, after I've cut my square or rectangle and cut my pieces of yarn, what I want to do is cover my entire surface with glue. To speed this up for the purpose of the video, I'm actually going to use my giant paintbrush. I've poured some glue right onto this plate, and I'm simply going to paint the glue all over the surface, trying not to get it on my nice table, all over the cardboard like this. Make sure it's a nice even coat of glue. We don't want to leave any places without glue because this is going to help the cardboard to stick to the foil. Once my glue is on, now it's time for the fun part, to do my lines using yarn. The only rule with this is always start, one edge of your yarn must go off the cardboard like so. And you can do any design you like. I'm going to do a loop-the-loop right here. And then I think I might do one more here. And then I'm going to stick it to the edge. And notice I have a lot of excess that I will snip right off right there. I'm going to cut that off later. Let's try to make this interesting. I want to do a line across it. So how would I do that? Maybe I could start here. Notice I'm always going to the very edge because our goal is also to create sections that we can color with different colors later. If our yarn goes to the very edges, we are creating very definite spaces to color in different colors. So I kind of like the look of that. In fact, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it just like that. So I'm gonna simply trim my yarn off like so. A little bit here, great. So I've just created a few different sections on this. You can get really elaborate and do as many as you like. The next step is, while my glue is still wet, and this is important guys, if your glue is not wet, please go back and dab a little more, making sure to cover every section with glue. The next step is to get a piece of foil like this. I'm going to do it with the shiny side of my foil facing up. So I'm simply going to place the foil, move my stuff, right over the painting, well not the painting, but the relief, and push down. Second graders, I just realized second graders, you are going to have the upper hand with this because you guys have practiced this before when we created our collaboration for the library. So nice work, second graders. You're going to be really good at these by now. So pressing down on the foil, I'm going to smooth it with my fingers. I'm trying not to break or tear the foil, but what I want to do is try to identify where my yarn is, because that is creating the lines and the raised surface that is going to stay metal. And I'm going to color everything except for these raised lines. All right, let's probably a little challenging for you guys to see, but hopefully you can see that my foil is showing through. I can simply turn it over like this and fold the foil over to make it nice and neat. You can even cut off the extra if you wish, like so. And one more right here. Perfect. Now I have the base of my foil relief and it is ready for coloring. So now when it comes to coloring, you can choose to do any sort of color family you wish. Maybe you want to do all cool colors. Maybe you'd like to do all warm colors. Maybe you want a mix of both. So I think I'm going to go for some cool colors. So I'm going to start with the blue. First step is, with my finger, I'm going to find one of the areas like this one. I can feel the foil, I can feel the yarn underneath the foil. So I'm going to simply color this, like so. If your foil rips a little bit, don't worry, just lift up your Sharpie, go to a different section, and it won't even show. If there is a giant rip, there is a way to fix it. Here's what you do. You simply tear off a little tiny piece of foil like this, and you can simply glue it right on there. If I have a rip here, I can glue it right on and then color directly over it. All right, so I'm gonna color in this section blue. Now, when I'm thinking of coloring my piece, I don't want to repeat this blue on a neighboring section, right? We do a lot of this in art class. I want to use a different color on my next section. So here's one section, blue. Maybe we'll try a purple. Purple is another cool color. And I'm feeling again to feel where my yarn stopped. Ooh, looks like there's a giant section right here that needs to be colored. So I'm gonna start in the corner. I'm gonna stop when I feel the yarn. My yarn is right here. Oops, I made another little hole, but it doesn't show. All good. There we go. And now I'm gonna color this entire section purple. So I'm sure you guys are getting the drift of this. It is a really fun, easy project that has really great results. I particularly love when you do sort of larger scale work like this. I have this one hanging in our living room, and I've noticed that as the sun moves throughout the sky during the day, it sort of shines in on our foil relief, and it really creates some interesting colors and as the light catches it, and I love the way the light bounces off the silver areas that we left blank. So it's a really fun one to do. It's also a great way to practice our mindfulness, as it is just simply coloring. And like I always say, it's important to just take your time and enjoy the process. All right, so you guys get the idea? And then I would just continue on coloring with different cool colors until my entire piece is created. So have fun, enjoy the process, and most importantly, just keep on creating. Okay, thanks guys.